The early eukaryotes evolved sexual reproduction. This involves the fusion of two separate cells, typically from two different individuals, to form the new diploid zygote of the next generation. These zygotes could be identical, and in many eukaryotes they are, but in most there is a visible difference between the ovum, which is larger and non-motile, and the sperm, which is small and motile. Thus, it is expected that there are differences between the males and the females given the differences in the gametes that are produced. However, there are other differences between males and females which have nothing to do with the making of these sex cells or the transport of them so that they can encounter the sex cells of the opposite gender. So, for example, males and females may smell differently, as these buffaloes certainly know, or as dogs certainly know, or at an unconscious level, as humans certainly know. The pheromones, the apocrine sweat secretions that can be perceived are different between men and women. Males and females can sound differently, as these frogs know, or as birds know, or as many insects know. Typically, it is the male attracting attention to themselves so that the females know where they are if they are in the mood to mate. This typically involves the males, given that predators will also be attracted to the more vocal individual. And since females are investing so much energy in bolstering the next generation, males are a bit more expendable and suffer more predation. Males and females can be visually different. This can be because it allows the females to find the males because they're obvious. It can allow females to discriminate between different species if males of one species have one coloration and males of another species have a different coloration. It can advertise the nutritional state of the male, as in some birds, the brighter red colors in the feathers indicates a healthy diet. And these visual differences can be observed in animals as diverse as fish, as birds, and then even in mammals, including primates, as evidenced here by the differences between the male and female gorillas. Although estrogens and androgens are produced in both men and women, there are differences in the levels, given that the testes produce larger amounts of androgens and the ovaries estrogens. And these hormones affect diverse tissues, causing differences between the genders in tissues which do not have a direct role in reproduction. So the length and width of the vocal cords can differ, changing the voice. The areas where adipose is deposited can vary, so that one can distinguish between males and females in general based on adipose deposition. The testosterone's effect on increasing skeletal mass and muscle mass and changing the shape of bones, such as the squareness of the jaw, can contribute. Estrogen will cause changes in the hips in preparation for childbearing. Androgens will cause the growth of hair, facial hair, and body hair to a greater extent, but can also contribute to male pattern balding. The actions of these hormones are so broad that this could lead to other discussions, such as the predisposition to a number of health conditions, such as heart disease, or acne, or depression, based on hormones or hormone fluctuations. Thus, just as many vertebrates have secondary sexual characteristics which distinguish the genders, and even primates can have these differences which distinguish genders, the ancestral humans must have found some adaptive value in the different secondary sexual characteristics which have been passed down to modern humans today.